Hello, everyone. Welcome to Get in the Garage.
We're a music podcast.
For music lovers, today we are Sans Jeff, but we do have another person in the room with us today. He is the newest addition to the Get in the Garage team. He is the voice of God. He's also my brother. His name is Alex. Alex, say hello.
Good evening.
You can't
Alex.
see him, but you can hear him at all times.
I can see everybody.
Yeah, that's it. Our eye in the sky.
Our new
Big brother.
our new
Little
tech
brother.
guy.
Yeah, then our new tech guy, our producer, the whole thing. So welcome, Alex. Welcome to the team, bro. All right. We're going to start this episode off as we often do, always do.
With the theme song.
With the theme song. That's right, Luke. I almost went
Into the other segment.
The other segment.
Like and subscribe, everybody.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Tell your friends.
Alex, shout out. What's your
What's your Instagram
handle?
At Dismissed.
At Dismissed.
Yep. Dismissed, but with a H after the D.
Yeah.
So deep is missed. Yeah.
All right. For those who didn't hear, it's Dismissed. DHISS.
One S.
One S.
MISSED.
ED. Okay, just one word.
Yes.
Yeah, so check Alex out. Show him some love.
Yeah. And we want to tell you what's going on in this episode today. We have music news like we have every week for you.
We do
Exciting
indeed.
and awesome. We're going to cover Oasis's 25th anniversary of their third album, Be Here Now.
Be here now.
We're going to cover Meg the Stallion, her new album.
Traumazine.
Can't wait. And then we have another new album for you from the band Hot Chip. So that's our show.
That's our show.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Let's get into the music news.
Let's get into music news. So, I don't know. Okay, this just in. Joni Mitchell was given an honorable doctorate degree from Berkeley.
I did see that,
saw that?
Dr. Joni.
Yeah, Dr. Joni.
She wore a very
MD,
sweet
musical
beret.
doctor. Yeah, she did. She came dressed to the nines. I guess it was at a like a private thing in California.
Yes.
And there's a great picture though of her with, I think, oh crap, who is it? Is it Herbie Hancock and Wayne Shorter? Maybe it's Wayne Shorter and somebody, I think. But it's a great picture. You should definitely check it out. Congratulations to Joni Mitchell. You know, I feel like she got caught up in some stuff, you know, like with the Spotify and like the whole thing, but you know, she's coming back strong. She recently had the surprise performance at Newport
Jazz
Festival too. So it seems like Joni Mitchell is kind of
Folk Festival, I think.
Folk Festival. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, congratulations to Joni Mitchell and the Joni Mitchell estate for that matter too.
Very nice, Michael.
Thank you. Luke, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna start off with my wildest piece of music news.
Is this
here.
what you haven't told me that you've been wanting to tell me?
Yeah, so this slipped past me. Capitol Records signed a virtual rapper. Did you see this?
The AI rapper.
Yes.
Yeah, his name is
Oh, you have this too.
FN Mecca.
Yeah, so FN Mecca is a virtual reality rapper, an AI rapper, okay? And he was signed to Capitol Records. They released a single, Florida Water.
Yeah. Florida Water.
So the thing about this AI is the caricature of this AI is like a digital kind of being.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
a black man with like
Green.
neon green hair.
Yeah.
And what people are finding upsetting with this kind of thing is that the AI is using racial slurs in its rapping.
Yeah, and it featured, who did it feature? Oh, I didn't write it down. I'm gonna tell me.
Nope, I have
It
that.
featured a rapper who is right now being charged for on a RICO case.
Oh, let me get that one for you. FN Mecca was oh wait, no, is it that one?
I don't know.
Yes, he was back there.
Can you find it, Alex? Yeah, it's really
it's really bad though.
It's really, really bad, and like and Capitol Records, but it's like this is the weird thing.
This is it. I have it now. The Florida Water was released via Capitol, a division of Universal, on August 12th.
Right.
The track was credited as featuring professional Fortnite gamer Clicks, along with Atlanta rapper Gunna, who is currently being held without bond in Atlanta, where he's facing a felony racketeering charge.
There you go.
So the song with the AI rapper featured another rapper with a RICO case and a Fortnite gamer.
Yeah.
And
the language that was being used too in the rap, there was like
very heavy.
Yeah, right. It was like kind of
Yeah.
shocking.
So a group released a statement. We find fault in the lack of awareness and how offensive this character is. Industry Blackout, the group, posted on social media. It's a direct insult to the black community and our culture, an algorithm of gross stereotypes, appropriative mannerisms that diverse from black artists, complete with slurs infused in lyrics. So, diverse was the word there.
Yeah.
I slurred, but so it really is taking like this AI rapper is
Yeah.
pretty much like they signed a not real person
Yeah.
and then made it a black person and then made it say racial slurs and somehow thought that wasn't going to be offensive for some reason.
I know.
It's really weird.
It is weird.
It's
but
really weird
it's,
when Capitol Records has black artists signed to their label that they could just spend money on and promote or give real artists who are black.
Yeah.
You know
It
what
just
I mean?
seemed like, I don't know, man. That seemed, I don't really know what to think about it, because it's like, were they trying to make a quick buck? In other words, like, be the first label that has
it
like an
is.
AI robot rapper, and it's just like, but you're like that. I think that's what the craziest thing about it is like the sign of the times that we're at the point now where it's just kind of like, an AI. You know what I'm saying? It's like
we're talking about an AI rapper and
Yeah.
whether it's like a valid art statement or not.
Yeah, right,
It's
right.
Weird.
And that's like, it feels strange
It
to
feels
me. I don't
icky.
like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Considering
I'd
the
rather-
outcome too, especially with the outcome. You know what I mean? You're like, ugh.
Yeah, especially because the outcome was like the worst of
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It was like the lowest common denominator of like
Like stereotypes and
Yes.
stuff like that. Yeah.
So down with racism.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna thumbs down the AI rapper in general.
Yeah. I didn't
Um,
listen to the song. I don't know if it's available.
Give me hologram Tupac any day.
Yeah.
Not down for the holographic.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. We'll take holographic Tupac over.
Yeah, not
an
down
AI.
for the AI rapper.
Yeah.
I'm also
Here.
double thumbs up for holographic Roy Orbison because that happened too.
Yeah. There was another holographic one that happened recently. Wasn't it Freddie Mercury? There was a holographic
Oh,
Freddie
yeah.
Mercury.
That's cool. I'll go
Yeah.
see any holographic artist. That seems fun to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah, thumbs down on that.
Thumbs down on
So,
that.
You got anything else?
Yeah, I do actually, and I think it's something that that you'll find pretty interesting. Have you heard the news about MoFi?
I have not.
Right. So, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab has been creating quote unquote like audiophile quality records since
Yeah.
like 1977.
For years.
Currently, they're being sued for using direct stream digital tech, and they're being sued for false advertising because they advertise as being audiophile, like the cleanest of the clean, the best of the best. And there were allegations that were made against them, stating that they were in fact using like digital means to manufacture these records. And now there's a lawsuit against them. Are you looking for a record from them?
Yeah, I got a MoFi right here.
Oh yeah.
Weezer MoFi. I only bought it because it was the only one available. But I'm usually,
Yeah.
for me personally, if you're one of those guys, I usually find that these sound pretty okay.
Yeah.
For my taste, but I never like spending money on them because they're way more expensive, and I can get like something that's comparable for my ears.
Yeah. Well, also comparable really to the maximum because it's not even they're I don't really know that much information about
This
it.
was an expensive. This is
Like the lawsuit itself.
This is how much records are like now. This is $33.99. So like this is probably what this would cost now. But I bought this in 2013. I bought this like 10 years ago.
When you bought that, you could still buy like a dope record from Books A Million for like $10.
Yeah, $10 or $12. Speaking of which, I looked on my shelf the other day. I bought Modest Mouse, Good News for People Who Love Bad News, for $11.99 at Books A Million about 10 years ago, which is an insane price point.
Yeah.
But so MoFi, this company that's releasing these so-called, so they're getting called out for doing digital, direct to digital. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
there.
as the story
Because
as I know
the
it.
way
Yeah.
a vinyl record is mastered, it's mastered directly for the vinyl record. It's not mastered for digital. That's a different process.
Yeah.
Because you need to have the right highs and lows, and the bass on a
there's
vinyl record
different right.
can't be too high or it'll blow the needle out of the groove.
Yeah.
So this would be the kind of thing where you just took like the same thing that was on a CD and just ripped it straight to the vinyl record.
Yeah.
A lot of companies do this.
Yeah.
I know For Men with Beards was a vinyl repress company that was way more popular about 10 years ago, and they were highly criticized for a lot of their
Were
pressings.
they? I have a
couple of
of
formats.
yeah.
Some of them sound great. A lot of them are digital
Yeah.
vinyl transfers. A lot of them sound flat and not great.
Yeah.
So that would be the difference. Is a digital transfer would be a little more flat sounding, where a vinyl it would be
There's more air. There's more breath.
It'd
There's
be
more
built for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a different.
very interesting though.
But yeah, interesting to
So,
think about.
vinyl community. What do you think about this? Because this is a
Yeah.
shots are called. I know there's people on Instagram that got like MoFi walls like I have.
Yeah.
They're just straight MoFi though.
Something happened where they were investigated, and I think from what I read, it said like they were like the investigators were given a tour of the facilities, and they were kind of like open about it. They didn't. I don't think they were like. Which is odd to me because
Well,
it's like
okay,
this is a
well,
company
this-
that like banks
this-
on.
This depends too. If there is no original reel, if there's no
Yeah, right,
original
right.
that doesn't exist, the digital is the only thing that exists. That's also another thing to contend with in modern days too.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, I thought you would find that interesting though because you're
I
the
found that-
record guy.
I found
you know?
that very interesting.
All right. Do you want to move on? I have some rest in pieces.
You have some rest in pieces.
Yes.
I mean, I think I'm. Oh, I wanted to talk about one more thing in the
Okay.
music news. Janet Jackson's
Oh, I did hear about this. Did you hear about this?
Rhythm Nation. So the Janet Jackson song Rhythm Nation has a sound frequency that can disrupt a laptop hard drive that uses a certain RPM drive, 450 RPM drive, and it will crash the hard drive
Yeah.
because of the tonality that plays in Rhythm Nation. Very crazy.
Was it? I thought it said something was tied to Windows XP.
Yes.
A Microsoft engineer discovered this glitch.
Oh, okay, right. So that's the Windows connection there. Yeah, because I thought I read something like that.
Yeah. Oh, Windows XP notebook models. That's it.
Okay.
Windows XP notebook models that have 4,500 RPM
Did it say how they found
frequencies.
that? Like, how does that just happen? You know what I mean?
I'm sure it was playing, and it just went. What
I'm saying is who the hell is running a Windows XP notepad? Because it's not. We're like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It's
We
strange.
How far past Windows XP are we? I have no
We're
idea
pretty
because I
far
don't.
past Windows
I don't
XP.
compute.
Very far. It's
Yeah.
Windows 11 at this point. There's a lot of iterations in between that, but
Yeah.
many of the government devices still actually utilize
Yeah,
Windows
'cause
XP.
No shit.
I asked because my last two places of employment also
All still
use
run like old
Windows
Windows.
XP.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
It's weird.
for tech people, specifically laptop hard drives spinning at 5,400 RPMs. A portion of that song will actually clip the hard drive and subject to crash.
even laptops around it.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, it said it can like affect other laptops around it too.
Jesus. Does it go into any detail about like what is it like this? It's just the frequency. Is
Yeah,
that the whole
frequency of the tonality of it.
thing? Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like another Australian radio show actually tested this too and confirmed it.
Oh no shit.
Very
Janet
interesting.
Jackson posted on her story about it too.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I thought that was really funny and super
yeah.
interesting.
Weird, man.
Um,
right on, Janet Jackson.
Yeah,
That's cool.
super cool.
All right, so let's get into some quick rest in pieces. It wouldn't be a segment with me if I wasn't giving you some solemn news. So, the big one that I wanted to talk about was Creed Taylor. He's the founder of Impulse Records, a famous jazz producer. He gave us John Coltrane. He gave us Stan Getz. Impulse was the label that I
It's
think
great
originally put
jazz
out
label.
great jazz label. So Creed Taylor, rest in peace. Jerry Allison, the drummer for Buddy Holly's Crickets, passed away.
Oh, rest in peace.
Music died once again.
I mean, Peggy Sue was one of the best early drum songs.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So
really classic.
rest in peace. Our condolences to the Allison estate. And then another one, former Cradle of Filth guitar player Stuart Arstis. So rest in peace. I think he's either Norwegian or Swedish. So rest in peace to the fallen musicians.
Cradle of Filth bump was Jade bummed out.
I don't think she even I didn't tell
That
her.
used to be a Cradle of Filth.
Yeah, but it's Danny Filth. Danny Filth is that. Nobody cares about anybody else except for Danny Filth. He's the guy.
I mean, really.
Yeah, his last name is Filth. I think it's self-given though. Anyway, all right. So Luke,
Yes.
let's move on to this 25th anniversary,
Let's
shall we?
be here now.
Oh my goodness! I wish I was somewhere else later because I don't want to listen to this right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Be Here Now, 25th anniversary, August 21st, 1997. It was released.
Yeah.
So let's give the background of this.
Right.
Oasis are on the heels of What's the Story, Morning Glory, their second album, Sophomore. It's the most giant album.
That's the one. If there's an Oasis album, that's the one.
Yeah,
that's
definitely maybe their first album from 1994.
Yeah.
Hits big. It's got great rock tunes on it. It's a really solid, great record. Really kicks off like a lot of that Britpop, Beatlemania again. For a rock and roll band in the 90s, very big. And then What's the Story, Morning Glory comes out. The band is absolutely ginormous.
Yeah.
There's probably no bigger rock band on the planet at this point. Nirvana is close, but I mean, Wonderwall's getting played on the rock station, and is getting played in the pop station, and it's getting played in the easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's everywhere. So when 1997 comes around, Be Here Now is the most anticipated rock album, probably of like maybe the history of rock. I can't think of a more anticipated album.
Yeah.
Seeing that What's the Story, Morning Glory went platinum so many times over so fast.
Yeah.
By the time you get Be Here Now, it's like,
all right, here we go.
Here it is.
It's more of what we just loved.
It's the biggest bands in the world's new big album.
Yeah. And unfortunately,
it's a little bit of a downer.
Yeah, it falls a little flat for my taste.
It also falls a little bit flat for my taste. So let's kind of get into like what happened. So this album, when it came out, got really good reviews. It got like really solid reviews. I went back and read some of them of the time, and for what seems to have happened in that thing was What's the Story, Morning Glory kind of got bad reviews when it came out. It didn't really it got like lukewarm, it's okay. And then the fan response was so epic. By the time that Be Here Now came out, we kind of got a album that was middle of the road, whereas the previous album was as good as it is. And this album is a little bit more middle of the road, but the reviewers decided to kind of flip what they had done, maybe learning from the mistakes of their past with the Led Zeppelins and all that stuff that they would trash, like Rolling Stone back in the day, and then say is like the best records like 20 years later. So Be Here Now gets great reviews, but from modern day, as we keep going on, this is one of the few records that gets a great review when it comes out, and as time moves on, it keeps falling in like ranking in people's favor, in people's hearts, because for a few reasons. They find the songs to be a bit derivative of what was on the last album, and they're really long and slow.
Oh my God. Remember, we were in Alex and I were driving, and I put a song on, and I was like, so you think like it's something along the lines of like, yeah, you think the song's almost over? Look, there's still another 4 minutes left of this song, and we were almost 4 minutes into the song, and you're like, dude. And we said, like, nobody wants a 9-minute long Oasis song. You know what I mean?
And the song he's referencing there is All Around the World.
Sorry, I should have.
Which is a Sgt. Pepper's-esque Beatles-y track on the record. It has so many choruses. Then we get It's Getting Better, Man. And then after that, album Ender, it reprises the song that was already 9 minutes long and had like 6 choruses on it. So that's the kind of like over done kind of thing that you're finding on this record. Are the songs really outwardly effacingly bad? Not particularly. They're all get alongable, right? So
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's nothing on here that's like, you know what, where you're just like, this is like terrible.
Yeah. Right. Right.
It's all a bit middle of the roady. If I'm gonna get a bit more critical about it, this is an album too. We didn't really choose this album to say that we just don't like it, but on another front, it's so interesting how this was regarded highly and has
Yeah.
universally lost its acclaim with
Yeah,
like
it's
almost every critic
the album.
won't stand behind their review.
It
of
has
it.
an interesting story. I'll try to remember to link the Rolling Stone article
please,
from
Rob Sheffield, wrote
yeah.
a fantastic piece about the reappraisal of this album 25 years later,
Yeah.
and how he felt about it, and it really did echo a lot of things I felt about it, even though I wasn't around 25 years ago.
Yeah.
This is just more of like a big fan of what's the story, and
Yeah,
kind
and I
of
mean,
like,
I think to be honest with you, it's reaffirming. I think that we kind of like came together to talk about, because we talk about this out. For those who don't know, Luke and I drive to work together every morning and every afternoon to home. So we have these types of conversations in the car, and we got to talking about Be Here Now, and like, what does it mean? And it is such a compelling story when you think about it, because I mean, we were talking about how like they were kind of like, yeah, that last, like the last great rock band to kind of, and by saying great, of course,
we mean huge.
yeah, huge, and like everything that comes with being in a great band, right? It's like the Keith Moon, like it's the cover of this, right? The Rolls Royce in the pool. Like these guys are just like coked out of their fucking minds. They're rock stars. They're married to like models and actresses, and they're just like living this sort of like 1970s pop rock lifestyle in 1997.
Right,
And
which
it's
is
just- it's-
completely out of time and
Yeah.
out of space. And,
Right.
Yeah, and this album,
There was no real camaraderie, I would imagine, at that point. Like back then, it's like there's fucking Keith Moon, and there's John Bonham, and there's this person, and this,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like they were all debaucherous, and I'm not saying that they were doing good shit, because like Jimmy Page, I'm looking at you, not like a lot of them didn't do really good stuff, okay? But I would imagine that being a band like Oasis and getting that huge and like living that kind of like lifestyle, you're a dying star, man. It's just there's a white flash of light where
Well-
everything is like magical and amazing, and then it just like, and it just kind of like sort of like turns into fog and dissipates. You know what I mean? It's just like a quick wild. It's like Cream. It's a quick wild ride. It comes, it happens, it leaves.
right, and like for all that too, like the Beatles references on
Well, yeah,
What's
they're
the Story,
everywhere.
Morning Glory were more cute. Like She's Electric has that like interplay of While My Guitar Gently Weeps that
Mm-hmm.
like goes through it. And this one you kind of get like the references you're just like, oh, I'm not really on board with you, like,
Yeah.
because I've already seen the trick. So like if
Yeah.
you were to do it on another level and like artistically like make it something your own now,
Yeah.
that would be good. Like I found that like Magic Pie, you know what I mean, is probably like is like Wild Honey Pie. You know, all the
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
is like
yeah. It's
too close.
I mean, you said it great the other day, though. Like you were rattling off like some of the titles and stuff like that, and you're like, they just basically like
they kind of rewrote other songs.
rewrote other songs,
well,
and then just
because,
like
like,
they
let's-
hitched their wagon onto like a lot of other shit instead of just being like originally them.
Well, I mean, like, okay, like I said the other day with you, I was like, "Stand by Me." That's already a song. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? A really great song.
Yeah.
You know, and Fade In Now, like, not Fade Away, Buddy Holly, like the Rolling Stone. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like they kind of took ideas that are basic, and it's fair to play with basic ideas in rock and roll and make them creative in your own. But these just feel more of like a bit like hung up.
Well, yeah, and I think the irony of the fact that they even chose to title the album "Be Here Now," and
Which
yet they were
is-
like the most egotistical, self-involved, self-absorbed people, just going balls to the wall, doing mountains of cocaine and fucking doing wild ass shit, and it's like, then you're gonna like pretend like
Pretend
this
like it's
isn't
a-
Flowers. Like fuck off. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yes, like this.
You know,
This is not Flowers by the Rolling Stones.
thank you.
This
yeah,
is
it's like
like
fuck off, man. I don't need you
Yeah,
to tell me to be here now. It's 1997. Woodstock's gonna burn to the ground in 2 fucking years. Like it's gonna go down. Like things are getting bad. So like enough is enough, and you're not helping, you motherfuckers.
no. That's
I'm
a,
sorry. I don't mean to go on a rate.
No, that's
on
a great
rant, but-
statement. So, all in all, this does have a couple good songs on it. I mean, like, obviously, do I know what I mean? I like the song. I don't like the 8 choruses on it.
That's it.
7 minutes 42 seconds.
What's the first track though?
You know what I mean?
Do you know? Yeah,
That's a
That's
7-minute
that's
long
the
song.
7-minute one.
7:42.
What was the one? So okay, I'll say this. That
All
one,
Around the World is the 9-minute
9 minute
tune.
20.
yeah, right. All around the world. Okay, so that let me tell you.
That's the
All
car
right,
we.
so by the time-
specifically, that's the car or song we listened to in the car.
Which one?
All around the world.
Yeah, because that's when we were like, I was like, who needs
Another
a
4
9-minute?
minutes.
Yeah, another 4 minutes. Yeah, but it's like the thing is it's like that was the like. This is what I found, man. There's like some good music that happens on this record, sort of like sprinkled in, but it's too goddamn long. Like no, you know what I'm trying to say? That's my
there's-
thing, and it's
there's
like I
great-
don't need horns and strings on every track. I told you, it's like that.
Well,
it's like in
that's-
Dewey Cox when he's like 10,000 didgeridoos. Like it's like, dude, like Noel Gallagher and Liam Gallagher are just high off of their
Yeah, and
out
they're
of their
just-
minds on cocaine, and they're just like, we need strings and we need brass. And it's
Yeah,
like,
there's like string
right.
arrangements on like most of the tunes. You're right. The guitar overdubs on this thing are egregiously.
Yeah.
There's so much.
But it's
guitar.
like, you know, it's like this isn't Sergeant Pepper's. Though,
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
that's what they tried. They tried to do, but you know,
I'm sorry. I got heated on this
You got
episode.
heated.
I apologize to anyone. I love Oasis, man, and I have like really, really great like life things that I attach to Oasis songs, and they're very pleasant things,
Yeah.
moments for me. You know what I mean? So I don't mean to crap on them, but
it's
it's
like
because of that. And then you listen
it's
to this, and you're like,
because
it's, a
it's
letdown.
because the one before it is such a solidly great record, and it's fun, and it's got some of
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the best choruses that ever existed.
Yeah.
And this is like, you know, it's a bit more just like
Yeah.
it's a bit more stick in the mud kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I said to Mike, it may have ruined any major rock releases by bands after this.
Yeah.
So if you were a record label after this album came out, are you gonna throw all the weight behind a rock and roll band, or are you gonna go for a safer pop product?
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You're gonna just like you're not gonna
Because here's the thing,
'cause
man.
this is 4 guys. It's
Rock stars will make great music, but they're a pain in the ass to have on their
bands are
label.
complicated.
They're complicated. Rock stars are not. You know what I'm saying? It's not one individual person, man. Like things get.
It's four people, and in this one, brothers.
And to be fair, too, they come from Manchester in the UK. Shout out to our UK listeners. There's a few of you,
Well,
but like that's
also,
like
Say
grittier, working class.
say what you said about another album released in 1997 that you found. To
Oh
be
yeah,
much
Radiohead
more
released
profound.
Radiohead released OK Computer the same year, and like if you listen to OK Computer, they're an English band. You know what I mean?
But
and
and then
then you're
listen
like,
to-
no, this is the direction. It's like that like sugary pop.
Well, this is
like-
the thing. Oh, Radiohead's first album is way different than
Yeah.
OK Computer.
right.
And What's the Story, More Than Glory is not that different from this record.
Right.
But this record takes all the things that like you don't need on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So
That being
just
said,
a
I did
fascinating-
enjoy moments. I
did
enjoy moments.
too.
I did.
It's just
I wasn't.
we're getting critical because
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
picking nits, man. That's what we do. That's what we do on Get in the Garage, guys.
So are we off? Do you like this album? What's your favorite song? I'm definitely gonna say my favorite song, even though I crapped on it, was "Stand by Me" on here. So
let me see.
I'm gonna
which-
go with that one. And I also did like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
wish
say,
it
I
was-
liked-
I just wish it was way shorter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, same thing. Do you know what I mean? I like that song. Yeah, about the same. I do listen, man. Like I enjoy like a nice sort of, you know, I like the back half of Abbey Road. You know what I mean? So I like sort of like a drawn out thing, like on the end of a record. The All Around the World going to It's Getting Better Man to the All Around the World reprise.
too much.
A little bit too much, but I didn't mind All Around the World. It's you went into it knowing it's a 9-minute long song, and you sit through a 9-minute long Oasis song, and I didn't hate it. It was just too long. But that's how I felt about most of this record. I didn't hate it.
Yeah,
It was
it's
just too long.
All too long.
Yeah. So anyway, tell us what you think. Is it too long? Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Is the preceding album to this better?
I mean,
Let us know.
obviously it is.
Let us know in the comments below. All right. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back, and we will give you 2 new album reviews. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to Get in the Garage
We're the music podcast.
for music lovers.
We're back with our new album reviews. We give these to you every week. We got dropped an exciting new release last Friday. It was a surprise. We were expecting it sometime this year, but Meg the Stallion released her new album, Traumazine. She had the Rolling Stone cover behind Michael here back in June when she was recording the record, and it's out now. We're excited for it. Michael,
Yes.
what did you think about it? What are your initial thoughts about this new record?
Right. So I don't have much of a reference point aside from WAP. That was the song that came out. She was on that song with Nicki Minaj, I think, and there were other. Alex, look that up for us. Let me know who was on WAP. I think it was Megan. Was it just Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj?
No,
I
man,
think.
it's Cardi B, bro. I was
Cardi
waiting to
B.
correct you.
Nah,
I was waiting to
Cardi
correct
B.
you.
Why did I think it was Nicki Minaj?
Megan
My
Thee
bad.
Stallion is the feature.
This guy over here.
Yeah, sorry.
Um,
So that was a popular song.
Right, so WAP comes out in 2020. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, they pretty much blow up. That's my first reference of Megan Thee Stallion as well. She comes out, does this song, and it really just breaks the world. Female sexuality is on display in a way in pop music that it's never been before.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Betty Davis maybe was kind of
But,
giving
like,
that flavor.
not-
Lil' Kim was giving that flavor.
But not number one pop bangers. This is
Yeah,
a
right,
number
right.
one giant hit around the world. Almost every English-speaking country, that song went to number one. So a new revolution of female sexuality, especially in the rap game. Like you said, Lil' Kim was throwing this flavor a little bit in the 90s, but not so hard and you know what I mean?
I mean, she was pretty forward. She was talking about, like, you know, eating, you know, and all this and stuff like that. However, you are correct in the sense that, like, although Kim was a pop star I'll put it this way, Megan Thee Stallion is a pop star and a hip hop star. I think Lil' Kim was more so exclusively a hip hop star. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Right.
she didn't really. She did in a way, but not in this sort of a way. No. Yeah, this is like huge pop star, strong females like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, hypersexual, very like taking the power back. You know what I mean?
Yes, very much taking the power back in her own way. And this album is her sophomore release, so it's kind of the sophomore album. A lot of the times is a flunker or a different change up. They're very hard to do
Yeah.
because you know you either you stick with the style or you change it up. This is a bit of kind of the same style she was doing. The change up on this record, I think, is stylistically in the approach of some of the songs.
Yeah, so
It's the way
things
she's-
changed a little bit on this.
Right,
On
'cause-
this, you still have that braggadocio sort of thing going on, where it's like she's the shit and like that kind of a thing, like that bragging thing. But there's a bit more depth to this, and she's addressing like some sort of hot button issues. You know what I mean? Like with NDA, and there was there was a problem with Tory Lanez where he was accused of shooting her, and like this whole thing, he shot her.
Let's pretty much say,
Yeah,
Tory Lanez
he
shot
shot her.
Megan Thee Stallion
Yeah.
in a altercation.
Yeah.
And
She's been getting threats from his legal team and stuff. So like things have been kind of brewing in her personal life.
Right. And so that's
in
been
lead
a
up to this
major
record.
drama. And besides all that, too, this is a whole other statement about how females are treated.
Yeah.
And especially black females in
Yeah.
our culture, in our society. And so she brought that thing where she was really profoundly like disrespected by a man
Yeah.
in her life and has really turned it into a I'm not going to let this define me moment,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be bigger than this moment.
Right.
Because on this record, she lets you know that she's her and she's she. Like,
Yeah.
this is
And
it.
I think that's what, like, yeah, it's what's interesting about this record, because that was what I got from this, right? I listened to this and I'm like, oh, and you read the story and you understand what's happening. The reviews kind of fell flat, not really so much in her favor. Like, they were like, it's okay. There are moments on this record that, we'll get into it, but there's moments like sort of like lower moments of this album. But I think that the overwhelming majority of it is pretty strong. Like, I don't think there's a couple parts, but
I felt like the rap.
but it's not because of her, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. It's not because of her.
Her rapping on this record throughout, very solid,
consistent,
very good, funny punchlines.
Oh yeah,
stuff
saying
that
all kinds
made
of
me,
wild
like,
stuff.
Crack out loud.
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that was
Alex, can you get some lyrics for us?
Yeah,
maybe some
real deep. Oh,
if you could pull some up.
I have some written down here for us.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, a bit later, but the songs on this record that make it a bit different are songs like Anxiety. So
right.
a song like Anxiety, she shouts out her mom and how her mom passed away, and she gets more introspective and gives you a lot of herself in a way that Kendrick Lamar has done this year in that kind of way. I wish the beat to the song, and Pitchfork shouted this out too, so, I wish the beat of this song matched the
mood
a little bit more, because she really gives some of her best introspective lyrics on here. She also talks about the famous girls throughout, like, history that she wishes she could talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Like Britney Spears and Whitney Houston.
Yep.
Just because she's like, they know what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
And that's, like, the only people that know what I'm going through. I thought that was interesting, and clearly, to me, that was the best lyrics on the album.
Yeah.
As far as giving yourself and making an artistic statement.
Do you think? Can I ask you a question? So, do you think that, like, maybe like the reviews maybe fell, like, less in her favor because it was because it wasn't like, I don't know. Maybe because it was more of like it was an angrier record. It's an angry record. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think because it wasn't like sort of like the sad, like, poor me thing, she's like, no, fuck you.
I think this is what I think, and I said this to you the other day.
Yeah.
I think people aren't really ready to let Meg Thee Stallion or a personality like her have it both ways. I think they don't want her to be hard. They either want it to be hard all the time and, like, I'm hard all the time and I'm super sexual, or it's like it can't be like, you can't, like, they're like, when she does a song like Anxiety over, like, a harder beat, I think they're not so willing to go there. You know what I mean? And I think there are dynamic points in this record where she really tries to give it both ways. I think a song like Her, if we're really getting into the content of this record.
I really like Her.
Her is a different kind of beat for this record as well. Most of the songs on here are trap beats.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's familiar with the style of that. This is more of like a house, like European.
I love this song because to me, I'm going like, okay, so Drake's doing it, Beyonce's doing it, Megan Thee Stallion just dipping her toe in it, just testing the water a little bit out on the dance track. But I have to say, I really like it. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I can get with this. Yeah, I can get down with this.
Anxiety for me was doing it like lyrically, where she was giving something. This is also giving something because this is like a
female feminine anthem.
It's a vibe. It's a complete vibe. It's a dance, dance house, like burn. I love it. I also love the way she uses lyrics in this song. Love the line with the busted hose you kiki with. So kiki is a LGBT term for hanging out.
Oh.
That I know because I watch RuPaul once in a while. And so when she said that line kiki, it's shouting out to a certain person. It's a bit coded because it's in popular culture, but it's also like,
I didn't know what it was.
Right. So, and we're like, white dudes in our 30s. So straight white dudes in our 30s. So like,
so we wouldn't know.
Why would we really?
Right.
But when she's using lines like that, giving it to different people, and it's allowing a bigger group of people to come in and enjoy this record.
Yeah.
And like a thing like that, I really, really loved.
Yeah, it's more inviting. It's more right.
Yeah, like her is the defining moment of this album. I think the whole thing is great. The beat is where she should go, I think, with her music. It's self-empowering, you know. I love everything about it.
Yeah, me too. So some low points, right? Because there are a couple, and we pick nits here on Get in the Garage, so let's pick some nits, even though we do very much like this album. The Pooh Shiesty track, Who Me.
See, this is the point too.
This is a rough one, because like, it's not her.
Because Who Me is one of the is a great track on this record, because she shouts out like, "I know who shot me." That's one of the lines on Who Me.
Yeah.
I feel like Biggie. I know who shot. Like, she says it like that.
Yeah.
So, like, that is such like a, like, you know what I mean? She's like owning that, and she's like calling it out
Yeah.
and saying it, and then you get the feature.
Pooh Shiesty, and he just like, he can't even really rap on beat the whole time, and you're like,
And he
I mean,
doesn't-
and I guess it's a style. I don't want to be like, maybe
Listen.
that's a style and of its own. It's just one that it's not for me.
Madlib does it perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Madlib.
yeah. Right?
I'm
No,
not-
I'm sorry, not Madlib. MF Doom. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Little slip there.
Yeah,
MF Doom does it perfectly, because he has that like draw where he like relax, and then but he'll catch it on like the lazy beat, and he'll come back and he'll slap it on an accent.
Yeah.
And he'll like enunciate the word poorly to make it rhyme.
yeah.
That kind of thing. This for me sounds like lazy, and like and I'm not trying to be like males females, but all the male features on this record,
Yeah.
there wasn't one that made the track better.
Yeah. There's, yeah.
I couldn't think of one that made the track better.
And the future track too. So there's some stuff about that. Luke, why don't you tell us what this controversial one might say about
right.
that?
So when she was recording the album in Florida, she was like, this song would sound good with Future on it. That song is called Pressalicious, and she wanted that feature really badly. She called up Future's management team. How much does that cost to have him on a record? $250,000. She promptly told her team to go to the bank, put it in a backpack, and get it to him, and tell him that she needed him to do the verse before he left Miami. He recorded over the entire track. There was like a 7-minute beat track. He recorded over the entire thing. She chopped up what she liked and used that. I'm just gonna go out and say, girl, don't bother next time.
You're fine by yourself.
You're fine by yourself.
You don't need 'em.
The features are not helping on this record, though.
The Dua Lipa was nice.
Dua Lipa's great. Budget with Lotto.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So good, because it's it's two girls talking about how paid they are, how broke your ass is, and how they're not going to be with you because you're broke. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
And the girls together build off of each other, and they give like the strength.
Right.
And they're on the chorus, and it's like, you know,
it's just the chemistry, because the energy is so like feminine and like hyper female, that like having male features on it, like the chemistry just doesn't quite work in that sense. You know what I mean? It's
And
like,
to that
because like I
point-
want to hear them hype. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they're hyping each other up. Like, and I'm like, yes, hype each other up. Like I want that. I
They're
don't need just
working
like some lazy dude just being like, hey man, yeah, like pay me $250K and. You know, I guess I'll give you 7 minutes of something for a song that's 2 minutes. And how long is that song with Future? It's 2 minutes and 53 seconds long. He gave her 7 minutes,
something like
for
that.
a song that's 200. So you paid $250,000 for a 2 minute and 53 second song.
But that's the thing is,
When you don't need it, he's a
when you
bum. Leave him. Get out of here, Future. He's not a bum. I don't mean that to be mean.
if she,
but it's like she doesn't need
if
him.
she kind of like just did the whole record herself, I think it would have been a stronger personal statement.
Yeah.
About who she was. I just feel like the guys aren't backing her up in like a posse sense in the way that the women do, especially on Budget, because it works in the same way WAP does.
Yeah.
It's just like a lesser version of it.
Yeah.
So, and that's not to say it's a bad song. It's one of the best songs in this whole record. So,
Yeah. But so there you have it. Let us know what you think. Do you like this record? I like it. What are you going to give it for a rating? Now, remember, what was the Pitchfork rating? Alex, can you let us know?
7.1.
7.1. So where are you at?
oh, I'm going 7.5. I think this
Okay.
is a good record. I like Megan Thee Stallion. There's something about her that is
she's
just really likable, and also the single, like the big single that was released early, "Sweetest Pie" on this record.
Yeah.
Like that too for me is like she does this like great pop and like rap thing that's really hard. I think she needs to work on melding the hard rap beats with the pop hooks a little bit better
Yeah.
into like a more digestible way where it's not
Right.
all trap beats. It's a bit more like melodic.
Yeah,
beat.
I'm interested. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where she's going because you could tell she's like it's the third album.
Yeah.
It's third
That's what I'm
albums.
saying.
Third albums are big for everybody. Like it's a thing in music. Tom Petty. It's just asking him. Third albums are usually like the biggest hits. Bruce Springsteen is third album. So many people. So I feel like on the third, it's gonna be like because this one is so it's ready. And also we didn't even touch on the lawsuit she's going in through with her record label while this is being released. She's going straight up like suing the
I
shit.
didn't know. I didn't know about that.
She's like Taylor Swift style suing the shit out of her record label for
no way.
Yeah, because she's getting her power back. So for this record to even have been released in such a turmoil period, you could tell she's working hard because she doesn't want to like Kesha it and lose the moment of what she's doing.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying that whole situation I know is way different. I just know she wasn't able to release music and made it so that her career was definitely impacted by it.
Yeah.
Different situation. I'm very aware, but.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm excited to see what the next album looks like. It's like the excitement that I feel for her next album is the same way. Like, remember when we were talking about Post Malone and we're like, oh, he's kind of doing something different. I'm really excited to see what happens next, though. Yeah, that's how I feel with her. This is her sophomore album. You know, she's getting her power back in that sense, and I think next album we're gonna get a Megan Thee Stallion who is very aware of who she is. And like what she's doing and all of that, and I look forward to reviewing it, man, because I think good things are going to come from Megan Thee Stallion down the road. I really do.
Highly agree.
Yes. All right. So moving on. This was actually a recommendation from Jeffrey, but he could make it tonight. He's busy, so we're going to talk about it, and then I think next episode we'll probably just have a quick chat with him about this record too, because he did recommend this album, but we did not want to cover it because it came out more recently. The album is Hot Chip. The band is Hot Chip. The album is Freakout Release. It was released, I think last Friday. It's 11 songs, 47 minutes and 23 seconds long. They're like an electro pop funk sort of band from the UK. I think this is their 8th release. The last album was
Bath Full of Ecstasy.
Bath Full of Ecstasy. That's what it was. And this might be the only time you ever hear this come from me, but I also happened to watch a review of this record from Anthony Fantana. Is that his name?
Yes.
And he did say a couple things that I agree with, I have to say. And I usually don't really agree totally with everything that he says. But in this record, I agreed with what he was saying. So just for me, like just the quick long and short of it, we'll get into the nitty gritty. I found like the first couple songs to be cool, and then after that things got a little stale. You know, there were some cool moments. There's cool electronic trickery things that they're doing sprinkled in this album. That's pretty cool. Like, I appreciate the studio and computerized trickery and all that kind of stuff. I respect it, but personal taste.
Right. So this record is a pop rock record, pop rock like dance record.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of bands now that are doing this style of music.
Yeah.
This band has been doing this style of music for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That Foles record that we reviewed a couple weeks ago.
I was just gonna shout Foles out, man.
Very much in this like dance kind of genre now. Like they just started to get into that kind of music where this band has been making this music for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Off the nitty gritty, the album opener Down does have a laid back disco vibe.
Yep.
it has that refrain, break it all down, that thing that's going on through the whole thing. It doesn't really have a chorus. It's a fun dance track, and you're like you said, it's got a 70s kind of.
It's got a 70s vibe.
60s, 70s.
Yeah, and I like how the intro has like no low end, and then the low end kicks in at like I think it's about 30 seconds, and it like kicks in, and the song kind of like brings you into the record. I think this is a really good album opener. I think it's like as an album opener, it's open because you don't really get this kind of vibe really all that much in the rest of the record. It like listening to it, I listened to this first track and I was like, okay, this is the kind of record it's going to be. It's not really. It's things kind of get more electronic and kind of crazy, as you enter in the record.
I find that, like you're saying, it's like got electronic. I don't think the electronic things on here are really all that like bizarre or exciting. They kind of sound more in today's world, where this band started like
in today's world with Luke.
In today's world, pop music is much more in this electronic style anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like the Beyonce record, like we've been talking about. It's a dance pop electronica record. It has all of those things about it, right?
Yeah, but
and this is the #1 album in the country, right? Mm-hmm. So this band has been doing this for a ton of time, but now it's kind of like, where do we go from here?
And right.
On top of that, they've already experimented with a lot of those flavors and things.
Yeah.
And for me, this record feels a bit like I couldn't there was no real ass shakers on this record for it to really be a dance themed record. Like even Down, which is the most danceable song on the record, it's like a lazy dance. It's not
it's
like
more laid back. It's like, I know what you mean though. It's way more laid back, kind of. Maybe it's like after you leave the club.
Well, also,
or warming up to go to the club.
The thing that's happening too with the vocal on this record, I find that a lot of the vocals are kind of like in a middly tone, and it's not really expressively pushed out hard or angry or
right.
But it is pushed out in a sadder manner sometimes.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's so we touched on it, I think, with the like the Megan Thee Stallion album. How maybe to a certain extent there was like sort of like mismatches in terms of like what the music sounded like in comparison to what the actual like lyrical content was giving you.
Yep.
And I find a little bit of that kind of sprinkled into this record where he's like sort of giving you these introspective lyrics and sort of like big picture kind of ideas, but it's like this lazy electronic pop song, and you're kind of like, this is like, give me something more tender, give me something more vulnerable, give me something more emotive. It's not that it's it's an emotion, it's a vibe, but that's what it is. It's a vibe. It's not, I feel like I'm not getting individual songs really. It's just like one long sort of like dance party thing.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know.
So a song like Hard to Be Funky would kind of encapsulate what you just said for me. So the song is kind of waxing poetically about what is funk, what is funky, what does it mean to me and you? It means the world to me and you.
Right.
The problem with waxing poetically about what is funky is the song isn't very funky, man. It's like a dream pop, like kind of dirge. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not really like, it's not funky. So like for me, like Hard to Be Funky, like I guess the whole point of this record, which I'm kind of getting around to, is that they're having this relationship with music where it's not working for them the way it was in some aspect.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're expressing it in the album in a way that they're like, music has been my world for me, but sometimes it doesn't click in the right way. Even Freakout Release, that song.
Yeah, the title track.
It's just like that kind of thing is more funky, but it has expressive, like wild beat.
Yeah, it's got that
Freak Out Release, and you're like that's like a dance track because it's just statement, wild beast, Freakout, Release, and
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, and then
Yeah.
it comes out with this funky, heaviest bass on the record.
Yeah.
The vocals
like
are
a good doop,
Na,
doop,
na,
doop,
na, na, na.
doop, doop,
love
doop,
that.
doop.
And then
Yeah.
when you get to like a song like Hard to Be Funky, it's like, yeah, guys, you're not being funky. So that's why
that's why it's hard to be funky, because you're not being funky. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like talking to
it's
my
more-
girl about how I felt about it, and
Yeah.
she was like, so kind of like they're being meta about something that they're not doing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I guess so. It's pretty interesting. The tone of music wasn't the thing in my life, and now it's kind of like changing for me. Is I understand that, like,
Yeah.
obviously every artist has this like push pull love thing with the thing they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure painters have it too.
Sure. Yeah. Any
Um,
artist,
Just for me, I don't. It's like one of those things that's hard for me to be like, are you complaining about making music? Because it's like kind of like sometimes, just for me a little bit, it was kind of like making a painting. Not like this whole album isn't like hard on that vibe, but
Yeah.
like when I hear it, it's like looking at a painting that says I hate paintings, which is funny, but like,
yeah. Right. Right.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, that's well said. Yeah, and like I said, man, I don't know. I do think there are some high points on the record. I didn't hate this record either. Like I said, the highs are really cool and they're fun. Freak Out, Release, Down. The back
I
end
liked
is
the back end slags for me a little bit, but
Yeah.
like Eleanor, the second song in this record, is a great melody, and it's one of the best melodies used on the whole record. But again, I'm gonna go lyrics here. It's kind of just a boy girl song. So it's kind of, and I
Yeah.
don't want to be this guy either, but I'm going to. It's
Be the guy.
I'm gonna be the guy.
Be the guy.
How many songs can you think of where the girl's name is the chorus?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Sarah, Amanda. It's
yeah.
this one, Eleanor.
Yeah.
What's the one? Victoria, the one Amy Winehouse sings.
Oh, is it Victoria?
Right?
I don't know.
Uh,
Alex, check it out.
Yeah. Or
Is it No.
No,
Well,
it's
there's Gloria. There you go.
sometimes Valerie. That's
Valerie.
it, Valerie.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for me, like, it's a good song,
Yeah.
but at the same point, I'm like, I've heard a lot of these.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Freak Out, Release is if they went more on that vibe on this whole record, I'm there for it. Another song that I kind of dig that was more of just a straight up vibe was a song like Time, where again the lyrics didn't feel so much important to me, but the vibe was good enough where I could just kind of like get on with that.
Yeah.
If the lyrics blend in enough and they're ambiguous enough, I'm not really gonna nitpick, but it's when they're really like out front for me.
Yeah.
That's when the other one, I'm so sorry, but Broken on this album, the not rhyming with the word broken really like bugged the shit out of me.
We were on our way to work the other day, and Luke was going on a rage out. He's like, broken. Nothing is really rhymes with broken
in the song.
In the song,
in the song.
and it's funny. It was a funny. It was a funny moment.
Uses open. Open doesn't really rhyme with broken. Open, broken. It does and doesn't.
It doesn't.
What's the other one to use?
It's you know what it is? It's lazy. It's lazy. I mean, every rhyme has been rhymed at this point. It's like, what can you do? You just have to stretch it these days, I guess.
The other rhyme he uses is coping. Broken, coping. It's like that one got me a little bit. I'm like, and it's not like that's just a little thing for me.
Yeah. You're picking nits. It's
I'm
okay.
the guy on the show that gets in lyrically, I feel like the most. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to talk about lyrics.
You know what I think it is?
Because not all lyrics are created equal, man. Like you have Paul Simons and Bob Dylans of the world, man, and then you got the Ramones, and they're all equally valid.
This is the
they
thing,
just do
though.
different things.
Is a reoccurring theme that we talk about here on Get in the Garage, and I think it's something that we all agree on. But it's just like, can I buy into this album? And it's tough because it's like if they were just trying to be what they were trying to be, like you feel like you're being put on a little bit, and I think that's that just a little bit, and you feels a little bit disingenuous, I guess. You know what I'm trying to say? You're either like
Broken.
You're
That song made me feel like it was a put on for
You're
me.
either putting me in a bath full of ecstasy, or you're actually giving me like some ballads. You know what I mean? Like pick a lane. I'm just pick a lane. Is all we're saying.
When I saw that the last album was called Bath Full of Ecstasy,
Yeah, right.
I was so excited because I was like, this is gonna be like a dance banger.
Yeah. And it's just like
It's kind of like taking It's kind of like taking Ambien in a Forever 21 dressing room, which is like what I always say.
There you go. You heard it here first. Freakout release is like taking an Ambien in a Forever 21 fitting room.
I always use that line.
Yeah.
I've used it many times on this podcast. That's how this album makes me feel.
Yeah.
It's like you took an Ambien in a Forever 21 dressing room.
Yeah.
Everything's white, and you're like, do I look good in this?
What's going on? Why am I dressed like it's the 1970s? It's 2022.
How come nothing's on the rack?
Yeah.
It's a mess in here.
This is Woodstock, this wallpaper? This is Woodstock? You know? Anyway, so let us know what you think. So, what was it? Pitchfork gave it a 7.6. And I think you know what it was too. I think that was the atrocity where I was just kind of like
they rated it higher than the Meg Thee Stallion. I think the Meg Thee Stallion record's way better.
Yeah,
way better.
I think that upset me a little bit. But either way, you know, taste is taste, man, and everybody has their own. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So, but tell us what you think because, I mean, 7.6. I don't know. What do you think? No.
I'm like a 6. It's a 6.
It's a 6?
Yeah, it's a 6 because I think I don't know what I rated that Jack White record a couple weeks ago, but that's the most egregious record on this list, and this doesn't come close to that. That's probably the most egregious record I've like reviewed. That's the one I didn't like probably the most.
Yeah, you were pretty harsh on that one. I can't remember what you gave it though.
Though I am critical on this Hot Chip
5?
record. I think it's a good record if you're into you're into like a mid-tempoed dance like a pop dance record. None of the lyrics are like offensive or anything.
Yeah, for me, what this is for,
easier to listen to.
Yeah, for me, what this is for is like maybe you're having maybe you're having a little house party. People are playing like beer pong or something like that.
Slow disco beat.
You know what I mean? Kind of like chill, relaxing. Nothing's gonna come on.
Studying, you could study to this.
Yeah, right.
Right, like it's that kind of thing. Like you got some upper songs on here, but it's kind of just like good.
Yeah, it's good background music, and we've said it before. We'll say it again. Background music is not a bad thing.
No,
it's not a bad thing. Like if music can serve as background music, that's always a positive check for us. So, well, there you have it.
This has been Getting the Garage.
This has been Getting the Garage.
I know it was a little rough this week. We did 2 albums that we didn't super. I mean, Hot Chip we didn't like. We definitely didn't like it. We liked it more than we like Be Here Now by Oasis. But
sure.
it is hard for us to pick apart albums because we know that some of you at home do like these records. And,
and in fact, some of you at home love these records, and we never mean to offend anyone.
Statement 2: I don't think any of you are. Have any kind of like your artistic opinion isn't valuable if you do enjoy this, and I don't. I'm never that kind of guy where I'm like,
different strokes for different folks,
like
man.
that.
100%.
So we do have a lot of fun on this podcast, but a lot of love, and we value your opinion even if we don't agree with it. So
100%. Here. Real quick before we finish, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and all of that good stuff. Share the podcast, share with your friends. And then also, Alex, real quick, your Instagram handle.
Dismissed
with an H.
DHISMISSED.
Luca is?
I'm at Julius Records.
Julius Spin.
Oh, when am I?
Julius Spins Records.
I'm at Julius Spins Records.
Yes, his account got hacked. I haven't gotten any spam from it in the recent future, so I think it's kind of like
gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
Yep.
I am the Bearded Morrison on Instagram as well. We have a TikTok. Check our TikTok out too. We hit you with some of our music recommendations and stuff like that, so it's a good time. So anyway, thank you for hanging in there with us through these scorching reviews. Until next time, this has been Getting the Garage. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
This has been a presentation from the Wasted Robot Network. For more information and links to other shows, please visit www.wastedrobotrecords.com/podcasts.